I'm out here in the shop today. Got the little Kenworth out here, but it's time for some radiator mounts, I believe. And the radiator mounts are, of course, under the radiator. And if you remember, and if you watched the channel very long, you remember I hit a deer, and I ended up having to get a different radiator because mine was totaled. So my radiator was a narrow radiator, and it actually would fit down between the frame rails. I've still got it, but it needs a core. But the problem I had was the price of the core, and I put a little ad up on, I think I put a deal up somewhere asking about a radiator, maybe on Facebook, and old boy in Texas had this one sitting down there. And he said he'd take, I can't remember what he took for it, but I thought it was a pretty good deal at the time because I was in a bind and I needed a radiator pretty good and quick. And it's turned out to be a really good radiator. Haven't had any cooling problems with it. But I did notice the other day it was kind of sliding forward and getting up into my hood mount. So I've also got some hood mount. I'm gonna, well, back when this truck was 25 years younger and I was working on it, I put new hood mounts on there. The rubber bushing that goes between here and the frame, I did replace those once. I hope I have the right motor mount or radiator mounts, I'm not sure. But I've got the bolts out of the bottom that hold those pads to the bottom of the radiator. And now I'm hoping I can just kind of take my chain hoist and raise it without causing a lot of... The square tubing is what I made to hold the radiator up because the old mounts sit down lower. So I had to use those 4-inch square tubes to raise it up. And they worked out good. It's the exact same height as the A model wide mount radiator mounts are. They've got a little bit different bracket than this one does. So I got lucky there. That worked out pretty good. And anyway, I'm hoping I don't have to drain the radiator and all that crap, but I don't think I'm gonna have to. So that's the job at hand today. The radiator has a little bit of movement. I just don't know how much. Okay, that raised it up pretty good there. I'm not going to go a lot higher. I think what I probably need to do is pull one of those 4-inch tubes out, and I'll make sure I got the right parts. Okay, so I ain't sure I got the right ones because that seems like an awful tight fit. These do have a steel bushing insert in them, and that's supposed to just give you enough squish there to flare out the bottom so it doesn't try to pull out the top. It appears to be about the same diameter as my old one, but my old one is squished out, so I could have the wrong mount. Okay, so it's a no-go. This measures 204 and this measures 181. There's no way, if I did get them in there, it would probably destroy them before they even got used. So anyway, I'm gonna have to try to find some motor mounts for my Kenworth today. Hopefully I can. Alright, I got some bushings. I went ahead and did the cab mount on that side of the truck. This side over here just started on, so thought I'd kind of show you the process. It's well, this time I got a jack under the hood. I got my heater running today, so it's a little noisy out here, but not too bad, I don't think. Takes the edge off. I do have the door open because I thought this was going to be a simple process. Get it done on a nice warm day and be done, but didn't happen that way. So you throw your washer on the floor, so you'll have to crawl down there later and pick that up. Hoping I can slide it forward enough to. I need to get my floor jack under here. Kind of let it fall down there a little bit. Pick it up a little bit off of the bumper. This is not probably very safe, but it'll get us done real quick, you know. That's how it goes when you do it dangerously. So that's the cab mounts. I replaced them, I think. Pretty sure ain't nothing in this truck that's metal. It's all aluminums. Anyway, now throw your bolts on the floor too while you're at it. Sometimes you can get lucky and pop them right out. So that's what they look like after running about 25 years. I didn't think I'd ever have to replace them again. I thought by now I'd be, what's Dave Bird say, independently wealthy. Well, Dave, I didn't make it yet, but I'm getting closer. I got the independent part down, just not the wealthy part. One thing I noticed on these is they're kind of sloppy with how they put them together, so your bolts won't go through them until you run you a 1/2-inch drill in there. I fought with that other side. They shouldn't be that hard to put together. They just got a little bit of that mixture over in the bolt hole. And these are kind of a tight fit. Oh. The other side went in better than that. Pretty sure these are the right ones though. Man, that dude's tight. We need to lube that one up a little bit. Shouldn't be that hard. Okay, a little Dawn dish soap. Yeah, buddy, that did it. Actually, I'm pretty wealthy too, I think. I got my health, got my wife, got kids. Probably one of the richest guys you know. As far as how things go in the world today, a lot of that stuff is wanted way more than money. Anyway, I ain't complaining. I got an old Kenworth to work on. I can't complain. So you put the spacers on the bottom. You put the bolts in. You get the hood back where you think it ought to go. Now this is the part I figured out you had to have or it helped to have a pair of C-channels, or what are these? C-clamp channel locks. Kind of help you get that squished back down in there, because the bolts they use are just borderline too short with the new bushing. Now after the bushing smashes in, they're plenty long. So, see if I can push it down for you. You know what I forgot to do? Did the same deadgum thing on the other side. Ah, stupid. So, next time I take this apart, it'll be easier because I'm going to use plenty of anti-seize. Never sneeze. So next time, 25 years from now, when I change these, actually longer than that, it's 20 or 26, but so in 25 years I'll be, what does that come out to, 76, 77. Dang it, throw your washer on the floor. 76. These are poly though, these ought to last longer. So maybe I can get 30 years, maybe 40. We'll see. Anyway, so yesterday went to Kenworth because Saturday I went to Kenworth. Kenworth's pretty cool because they're open 24/7. I think they said they only close 2 days a year, probably Christmas, and I don't know what their other one would be. Okay, my jack's sliding over here. That's why. So anyway, I'm down there Saturday afternoon. That looks a little better. Hey, Roxy. Roxy's out here. Roxy's bugging me all the time. She wants to go riding a pickup. She wants to go do it. Anyway, back to my story. I didn't know what the bushing number was because the VIN on the radiator, the radiator came out. Everything Kenworth does, they look up parts off of VIN numbers. So if you got a VIN number, you're in pretty good shape with Kenworth. If you don't, however, you're gonna have some troubles. That ain't the right spot. So, about an hour of sitting at the dealer's counter with me on the phone, looking at Google, trying to find bushings for a Kenworth. I know this radiator came out of an A model. And I also know that the motor mounts used or the radiator mounts actually are different. So than my other truck. So long story short, I was down there for about an hour just sitting at the counter, and I'll give the guy credit. He went back and he looked several times, but he said the problem is they don't just keep all their cab bushings or mount bushings like this in one spot. So he was having to, he had to look up the part number where he thought it might be, and then he'd go back to the warehouse and he dug around. I think he got about every bushing out of there that matched what I was looking for, and he finally came across one. But actually, I think the way we came across it was I got online with Atro. Atro makes aftermarket poly bushings, and that dadgum bolt is just too short. I might get it. Anyway, Atro has a website. You can look up all the bushings they make. This is a two-handed deal here, maybe three. So Atro has a website you can look up bushings, and I just dug through everything I could find. Finally came up with a part number. I crossed it over to a Kenworth number, and sure enough they had one, not two, but they had one. So I know what part number to get now. Good Lord, I don't know. Try that back one first, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I drove an hour to Kenworth, and I didn't want to leave empty-handed, so that's what I told the guys. Like, man, I got to find something. Anyway, they were able to get my other one in today. This is Monday. So I actually have, I see I had that problem on the other side. This washer is just too thick. I don't know if that's the right washer. The Kenworth washer is a little bit thinner. So anyway, that's my Kenworth story. Sorry, it's not very exciting, but it might be better than listening to me grunt while I'm trying to put these bolts in. Oh, I got her. She started. I got you now, buddy. I hope. It'll probably pop off. Anyway. Yep, it did. Alright, we're going to put it on there without the washer. We'll squish it down and we'll let it back up. Jeez. Come on. There we go. There. Now we're cooking with grease. So if you ever get parts off another Kenworth, get the VIN number off that truck. Lesson learned. Okay, this is what happens to the bushings whenever the corrosion gets to them. It eats up that steel part inside the bushing, and then that's why mine was moving around, is it lost this, it just rusted out, and so it was allowing the bolt was tight, but it was just allowing the bolt to move back and forth inside that housing. So the metal bushing, of course this is not the right one, this is a motor mount, but the new one has metal bushings in it, good ones. So I gotta get this thing out of here somehow. I need some of them there big channel locks, I think, maybe. I'll give it a try, I don't know. The other one came out pretty easy. Yeah, this one ain't gonna come out so easy. Alright, we're gonna have to get a screwdriver or something. So screwdriver is not a pry bar until you take the handle off, and then it's a pry bar. Okay. They come out easier if the bushing's gone. Yeah. Ain't you a joy? Yeah, if we can get that out there, it'll help. Not much left of that one. So it was starting to walk around on both sides probably, and that's probably what I need to do, just let it tear in half. Almost. There we go. Soap on there. This one fits pretty snug too, but that's got to be the right one. Fit right in there like a new one. Just gotta put that back in the truck, lower the radiator down. So what happens is whenever you tighten the nut up, it just squishes this rubber out around here. And like I say, that little spacer inside there, that's as far as you tighten them. Tighten them down to there, it's got enough squish to hold the radiator in place, I guess. So when you're real busy working, it seems your shop just gets neglected a lot. Believe it or not, I have cleaned on this a little bit. So here's another fun fact. There's only one place these will fit under there. That's on this side here. So put it down there, and then I have to walk it across. Gotta go get the other one. It's in play, or motor mounts. They're like motor mounts. Radiator mounts. We got them in, didn't we, Roxy? She wasn't much help, but they're in there. New hood mount, rubbers as well. So maybe my, I know these bushings are pretty wore out on there. That's an aluminum bracket. Person could probably get a machine shop to drill them and put some bushings in them if he knew of a good one. Anyway, you can see I get a little bit of antifreeze coming out of the heads. It's been that way for quite a while. I just try to keep an eye on it. This wheel's going to have to come off. Check the wheel seal. Get a little bit of grease coming around my drum. I just noticed that today. Darn it. Should have already had the wheel off of it. But I want to fire her up and get her out of the shop. Whoa, it got cold last night. A little smoky. Just a little smoky. Not sure how much of that you heard. But anyway, I got the motor mounts in, or the radiator mounts in, new hood rubbers.